Hello guys, welcome to my second video on Node.js. In this video, let's create our first application. For that, I've just created a folder on my local directory. In the folder, I've created a file called server.js, and server.js is opened up in my text editor. There's nothing on the file, as you can see here. So let's get started writing some Node.js code. So in this video, I'm going to create a simple Node.js application to listen to a port and serve some content. So let's get started. So where http is equals to require boom, you got a new keyword here. So what is this http and equal to what is this require? What is the http? Node.js comes up with default modules. So these modules do perform specialized tasks, such as in this case the HTTP will create a localhost server and listen to a particular port that you have given. You may be wondering what is this require. I'll be clarifying things in further video. So for now, just assume that this require is importing some sort of functionality. HTTP is a module that is imported now to this file. Now this will give access to a method called create server, and this method really creates a server, and we want to listen to a port which is 8008. Now save it, and as soon as some request came to this port, we want to do some action, we want to perform some action. So I'm going to create a listener here on request is the function name, create the function there. This function would take request comma response as arguments. These arguments really would bring in some data inside of it. The data related to the request, and response that would carry some data to the requested URL. So let's write something here. Response dot write head. So I would like to respond it with status code 200, content hyphen type. This is some sort of HTML header that I am writing to it. Text slash plain. I would like to send a plain text there. Response dot write. I'm sending text. I wanted to send hello world. And finally you should end the response, so that this response will be sent back to your request. Now it's time to see whether this code is working in action right now or not. To run this file, you probably need to go to command and navigate to the location where the file is saved. So now the file is on my desktop in a folder called Node.js and first app folder. So here is my file. If I want to check dir, you can see that file is in the location. So as you also can validate here, it is in Node.js first app. Now let's go to our command prompt and cls that will clean the screen that is on the command prompt. Now it's clear. Node/server.js. What this command do? Note that in the last example, in the last video, we were trying to log something, right? If you hit node, this will evaluate the file and run it and give us the result. Node space server.js. Node is going to execute the server.js. Oops, I messed up. What's that? Unexpected token. Yeah, it shouldn't be comma. It should be listen, spelling mistake. We good. Everything is clear. Now open up the browser. Port 8008. Hello world. Bingo. We have responded with a hello world and it has come here. So you may be wondering whether we could only transfer a text here. No, we can transfer some files as well. For that we have another module called fs file system. You require it. Fs. So what this fs module will do? This fs module would access files on the server and read it and give you some result. So let's check in action. fs.read file is a method. This read file method would read a local file. So you need to pass in the file name that you wanted to read, index.html. So here this annotation, this dot slash would say that we look in the current directory, not in the same directory where the server.js is stored and the server is running. So put a comma and give a handler to it. So once the reading is started, I want to listen to the result through this function. Say that. So to typically in Node.js, for every handler, the first argument would be error. If there is any error, it would fall in as a first argument for the callback, and the second would be the data. Now we know. Let's check if there is any error as such. If in case of error, let console.log that error. Anyways, Node.js will be printing that, but for our concern, we just kept that as a log. And if there is no error, that means the data is there. And I would like to write the data to the response, like how I write for static text. So now copy this data and respond to it. So you will need to move this to this location, because if it is here, it would skip this code. It would not wait for the file to be loaded and the data to be sent. It will end that response before this data has been written. So if it is here, this would check for error, and if there is no error, it would write the data and then the response would be end. So do we have our index.html there? Yes, I have created it for you. You can see that in that HTML I've just created some markup here. So it just prints a h1 with SoapNode app rotation. So we would go during the screen, say node server.js. We're good. We're listening to the port. Let's go to 8088. Let's go to server and refresh. Bingo. This is something that what we wanted, but not in this form, but as in HTML form. So here so in our code we just transferring it as a plain text. Now we want to transfer HTML. That means the content type is HTML. We need to restart our server in order to read through our code. It has to be restarted, because the Node.js need to understand that I have changed something on my server.js. So now the app is restarted with our new command updated here. If you refresh, bingo, our HTML file as rendered as HTML now. So this is how you serve the files to your requested URL. In our next video, we will look how to route these things. Listen to the URL /login or /home and serve different files as we are doing it here. Thanks for your time, guys. Bye bye. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.